Hello everyone, it is me, Goji, and I am finally back with another video. Now, I know it's almost been a month since my last video, but one of my controllers has been getting fixed, so I haven't been able to record, but now that I finally have two hands again, I'm back to recording. And as you've probably noticed, I'm not in Animal Company or Gorilla Tag today. I am in probably one of the best superhero games on VR, Project Demigod. Now, I made a video on this game before in my best Spider-Man games video, but today we're going to be using a different power set. That power set is the strength or flight power set, which basically turns you into Project Demigod's own Viltrumite. And with this power set, we're going to be becoming one of the best superheroes in the world right now and we're going to be recreating 3 scenes from the show in Project Demigod with these new Invincible avatars. So anyway, the first scene we are going to recreate is and this episode and this scene are quite iconic because it is the first episode we learn about the Viltrum Empire and why Omni-Man really is on Earth. And it's just one of the best scenes in the show in my opinion. So with Project Demigod's new camera and these new avatars, I'm going to recreate this scene. So anyway, let's go into the first map to recreate this scene. So the map we are going to be using is the Winter Manhattan. Since there's no mountain map that I know of, this is probably the best thing we're going to get. So now we have to go find something that kind of looks like a mountain. We could use this building here, which doesn't have as many buildings in the background, so it would look more like a mountain. So for the first scene of this fight, we have Omni-Man flying down to Invincible, looking a bit, well, a bit kind of dead on the floor. And for this fight, obviously, we are not in this Invincible suit, we're in this one from Season 1 and 2. Sadly, there is no bloodied up version of this, so this will have to do. So let's recreate that scene quickly, and then we'll move on to the next one. So, for the next clip, we have Omni-Man pulling up Invincible and punching him back to the ground. Now, the good thing about the ones where we're picking someone up and throwing them to the ground is we can use the enemies, and then put the Invincible player avatar onto those enemies to make it look like Invincible. So all we have to do is grab the enemy, pull them up, and slam them to the floor. Over there is our enemy we're going to use for this clip. Anyway, let's record this piece, and then we'll move on to the next one. And there we go. I know it probably doesn't look the best, but I tried. Can you move? We have Omni-Man talking to Invincible and then punching him repeatedly, over and over again. Now, I'm not sure if we can use the enemy for this one, but I'm going to try. There we go, that clip is done. From my POV, that looks alright, but I don't know what it's going to look like in the final clip. Then, in the next clip, luckily we don't need an enemy because the POV is just Omni-Man punching the floor really hard. So for this, all I need to do is put the camera on the ground and then start punching in front of the camera. So yeah, I'm sorry guys, but I'm going to have to punch you for this. Oh, shit. Turn that off. Oh, the camera's fucking physics, you're joking. Just punch underneath. Then for the next clip, it shows Invincible laying on the ground, all bloodied up, barely living. So let's change back into Invincible and film this clip. There we go, that clip is filmed. Now this one is quite easy. It's Omni-Man laying next to Invincible and then taking some deep breaths. So for this one, we're going to get an enemy, lay him down next to us, and then recreate this scene. Now, in this next scene, we have Omni-Man getting up from the ground and then crouching over Invincible, giving him this speech about, "What will you have after 500 years?" or something like that. And then Invincible says that he'll have him, and he gets really emotional and obviously flies off into space because Invincible has to live. He's the main character, right? So yeah, let's recreate this scene, edit the whole thing together, and then at the end of the video, I'll show you the finished product. And there we go, the Omni-Man vs Invincible fight on Mount Everest is completed. And now, for this next scene, we are doing from Season 2, Episode 8, Invincible vs Angstrom. Sadly, since there are no Angstrom Levy enemies in the game, this is going to have to be our custom. So the first scene is pretty simple. We have Invincible grabbing Angstrom by the neck, and then slamming him into the corner of the room, probably up there, and then smashing him to the floor. Which should be pretty simple. So yeah, let's go. And there we go, that scene is done. So, for the next scene, we have Invincible looking over to his left and seeing his mum, Debbie, all bloodied up with a broken arm. This enrages Invincible and smashes Angstrom out the window, smashing him through the street. And again, there is no Debbie avatars in Project Demigod, so we're going to have to improvise. So this right here is probably the best we're going to get. So yeah, let's start this scene.
What will you have after 500 years?
There we go, that scene is done. For the next scene, Invincible yells at Angstrom before Angstrom punches Invincible, sends him through a portal into the Sand universe. We see Invincible almost kill Angstrom in. So yeah, for this scene, I think he'll have to become Invincible and I will have to become Angstrom. Because this guy can't do that. He can't open portals and punch me like that. So yeah, let's recreate this scene. So right here is my custom Angstrom. I know it's terrible and looks nothing like him, but it's as good as we got. But for the first bit where Invincible's yelling at Angstrom, we still have to be invincible. There we go, that scene is completed. Very weird, but completed. For this next scene, Angstrom and Invincible in the Sandland, or whatever you want to call it. Can you not? Thank you. And Angstrom strangles Invincible to the ground, but Invincible has one of his famous crash outs, grabs Angstrom, punches him, and throws him off into the distance. So yeah, let's recreate that. Now sadly, there is no sand maps in this game, so we're going to have to just use this grass here. There we go, that scene is done. Once Invincible throws Angstrom, Angstrom gets back up, threatens his family again, and that's when he crashes out for the second time during his crash out. Then Invincible flies at Angstrom, and before he even gets to open a portal, boom, Invincible punches him straight into the distance. Then we get a shot of Invincible flying at Angstrom while he's spinning around, and then Invincible hits a sick combo on him and smashes him right into the floor. So yeah, let's recreate it. There we go, that clip's done. And then after that, we watch Invincible absolutely beat in Angstrom's face on the ground. And then for the final blow, Invincible does this with his hand and smashes his head in. So yeah, after that scene, we'll finally be done with the Invincible vs Angstrom, and we'll move on to the last battle. And now we are finally done with this battle. So, let's move on to our final scene, Invincible versus Conquest. But for this, we will not be doing the end part of the fight where Invincible bashes his head against Conquest and his head kind of turns into spaghetti bolognese. Since we've already had 2 heads bashed in this video, we will be doing the
Stand ready for my arrival, worm.
I know that sounded goofy, but I had to do it anyway. Now luckily there is a perfect world and perfect avatars for this. But anyway, let's start off this clip by going to the world. So here we are in the world, and as you can see, it is basically perfect. And if you don't remember from the start of the video, we already have a blue suit Invincible. So yeah, let's start making this clip. So obviously we start the scene with Invincible walking, putting his arm up against the wall and then putting his head on it, since he had just gone through the Invincible War. Now I'm not sure where we could do this, but I think we can do it right there on that rock. So yeah, let's start making this scene. And there we go, the first scene is done. And here we are in the world, and this is honestly perfect for this scene. Next we have the camera look over Invincible and then go up to Conquest, who starts talking to Invincible why he's here, and starts looking around the destruction that's already around him. And then Invincible tells Conquest that basically all the destruction is his fault and that he's really angry and just wants to hit something. I don't know what Conquest says, but it obviously makes him smile because he starts flying down at Invincible. And then Invincible starts flying at him, and right before they're about to hit each other, boom, the clip ends. So yeah, let's work on this clip and then we'll be done. Okay everyone, we are now finished with all of the clips, so I'm going to get off, edit all these clips together, and then I will show you the rest. I mean, for me, it'll probably be like an hour or 2, for you, 2 seconds at max. So yeah everyone, I'll see you in a second.
You're doing this for wanna die for this planet? Fine! What's 17 more years? I can always start again. Make another kid.
Damn it!
Why did you make me do this? You're fighting so you can watch everyone around you die. Think, Mark. You'll outlast every fragile, insignificant being on this planet. You'll live to see this world crumble to dust and blow away. Everyone and everything you know will be gone. What will you have after 500 years?
You, Dad. I still have you.
This is over!
Mark. Mom.
What did you do to her? How much I've been holding back! Stand ready for my arrival, worm. You were given orders. You were given time. You were given more leeway than most, and yet I find this planet unprepared for the arrival of our Viltrum Empire.
This isn't a good time.
The Empire anticipated your resistance, which is why they sent me. I am Conquest, and I am your last chance to fulfill your duty.
You don't understand. All this is my fault. So the only thing I want to do right now is hit something as hard as I can.
Good.